What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? How are you this evening?
Hello, my darlings.
What's up?
What's up? Johnny and Rev on the show. Welcome,
Fucking
guys.
finally.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, man. We appreciate it. I do, before we get started, have to call you all out for wearing sunglasses indoors, though. So I decided to join you.
Future's so bright,
It's just the vibe, man. Plus, I got this light right here, dude. Yeah.
I can dig it, man. This looks nice.
Oh, I like the pink ones, man.
Thanks.
We're just really, really worried about early onset glaucoma.
Indeed.
Part of the reason I smoke.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I got the script for. So, what brings you to us, friends? Who are you? Why are you here?
Who is your daddy?
Well, I
Who
think
is your
our
daddy
check.
and what
I
does
think
he
our
do?
check to G3 finally paid off because we've been paying her for a couple of years to get onto the show. So
You got a couple
I think
more
it worked.
coming.
Yeah, we got a couple more payments. That and sending Johnny after Nick a couple times, I think, was all it took.
Yep, that's all it took.
But thanks for having us, man. Y.A.G.S.I.P is here.
Y.A.G.S.I.P. What is Y.A.G.S.I.P?
Your
Let's
average
pretend
bro.
let's pretend
it's a
I'm a
mistake.
5-year-old and I don't know.
It's a virus.
It's a mistake. I like to think of it as our sister podcast.
Yeah, man. It was started in your Discord. It's where
Brother
Johnny and I
podcast,
first met. Yeah.
if you will. Don't
Sister
whatever you wanna
works.
call it.
I
It's like
appreciate it.
a
Especially in the
station
glasses.
in radio terms. But like, so wait, it started in our Discord?
Yes, it did.
Oh shit.
Johnny tells it so lovely. I don't know why he's being all silent all of a sudden. Oh, he's muted.
Oh, he's fucking muted. Oh my god.
I thought he was hanging me out to dry here. I was
Dude,
like, why is the
wait.
least talkative of us being
It
forced
says you chose to mute yourself, Johnny.
Oh.
I'm just gonna
There we
There
go.
we go.
I got it. I did it during the intro. No wonder.
You're just a
wasn't-
masochist like that.
Yeah, my mouth literally has been moving the whole time. I swear to God, words were coming out. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
No,
sorry.
it did. So, man, it started as a fucking argument, basically, in your Discord. We had met. You guys started your Discord. We had been fans of the show, obviously, really early on, and we started an argument over green apple Skittles, and they took them away, man. They went
they
back to
suck.
the
They did.
fucking lime
Because
flavor.
they're
No, the
terrible.
green apple is fucking way better as a Skittle. The lime Skittle's fucking useless, man. It's like they've got lemon. There's already lemon.
No, we've had this argument, and you've been proven wrong multiple times. We don't need to rehash it now.
So,
They say hash.
so it became that kind of banter all the time, back and forth between us, and we got to talking, and it was just like, you know, what would be fun is if we kind of had a podcast where we just fucking told our stories back and forth with one another.
Surprised nobody noticed we were out of place. That looks.
Oh shit.
That looks better.
Like warm apple pie.
Exactly.
No.
Warm apple pie.
Well,
Um,
that's I love, dude. That's awesome, actually. That you guys came together on our little Discord, our humble little server there, and now you're off. Spread your wings. You're out of the nest, and look, you got
Out lollygagging around.
yeah,
So yeah,
Making enemies
exactly.
everywhere we go.
just roustabouts hanging out on a
YAG
stoop
started.
somewhere.
It's really
Sleeping
simple
at
how
parks.
it became YAG. When we got to talking about like an idea for us recording, like we knew we had a good banter back and forth, and we thought some people would at least find it entertaining, and we wanted to just share our gardens and talk to fucking rad people. So it was like, man, we just want to be like fucking average Joes, and it just spiraled into Your Average Grow.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we needed a fucking logo, so I hopped on my iPad and just took the 3 letters and we made a tree, and became YAG, the YAG tree, and it just became fucking YAG. So
Well,
acronyms.
the
That's what
logo's
YAG
sick.
is.
The logo is definitely sick. Johnny, can you bring, or Rev, can you bring it up on your background real quick?
Yeah, I'll switch over. Sorry, I
Show
called
the
myself
people.
Johnny Apple just to confuse the shit out of
I see
everybody.
it. He's got
It
frogs
worked.
in his name.
It worked.
But so that's, I mean, that's awesome. Like now you're doing your own thing. I like to think we're all still like, a big kind of network of podcasts, like us, you guys, the Crafting Cannabis podcast, and even the Nerd Grows. Or what's that called now? The Nerd
Nerd Grow Show.
Grateful
yeah,
Nerd.
Grateful Nerd
And then
podcast.
Grateful
That's what I
Nerd,
was
they
looking
have that
for.
once a month, man. Shout out Grateful and then Nerd Grows.
Yeah,
Although
they're
Nerd
really
Grows and I
fun.
have a beef because there can only be one redhead. So right now it's me.
Oh, it's like
'cause he
Highlander.
shaved.
That's one too
Oh,
many.
yeah,
if
of
you
the
ask me.
gingers.
Does only
There
one
is-
soul exist and you guys all fight for it? Is that how
Well,
it
yeah,
works?
and then Flammulated Al too. He's a Scottish ginger, so it's even harder because he technically has high ground. So I got to fight from
Oh,
the
This is
bastardization
going to
of
be
the American
fascinating to
ginger.
Yeah,
watch.
well, I'll tune in for that one.
I'll get him one day. I've got Johnny on my side, you know.
Oh yeah. So
I'll just stick him on a.
what
No.
are you guys smoking on tonight? The
I-
ever-present
I guess I should start
question.
smoking on something. Huh?
Why
I
don't we
am
let our
smoking-
degenerate guest go
Oh
first?
yeah. If I can
Yeah.
stop interrupting you for a second, I'm smoking on Tangy F3,
Ooh.
the Tangy that's coming out in August.
Ooh.
Well, aren't you special?
Yeah, he is.
I think
Aren't
so.
you special?
Yeah,
At
hey,
least
man,
that's
you
what
know,
the school used to tell me.
Get on the short bus, you little knuckle-headed ginger, you.
you're one of those kids they had to separate from all the normal kids.
Yeah, for my protection.
Get your own lunch table and shit.
Oh shit.
So,
Um,
Tangy F3. What, like, I know you tried the Tangy F1.
Yeah, it's
How does it
had-
compare?
it's very similar. I will say that I had a much better grow with the F3 than I did with the F1. It was just a better plant, so I think I'm a little biased, but it's that sweet, rotten tropical fruit, like alcohol-y little bit with some, just tropical funk, and it just it's good medicine.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I
Hell
can't
yeah.
wait.
Well,
She's like a vacation.
Yeah, man, she's wonderful, and she's a really good stress reliever, and so I find her perfect for during the day at work or putting
Functional
up with
medicine.
any of the bullshit. Yeah, it's great stuff.
Plus, when you're growing her, she is gorgeous to look at. If she has that, if the F3s have that same beautiful structure, that super identifiable structure that you saw in the
My-
F1s.
My F3 was bigger than my F1.
Ooh,
and
that's
so-
exciting.
Yeah, and every
Maybe it's
picture
because you
that I've
didn't
seen-
fuck this one up.
That's also a very true statement. No, and I've grown some other Tangy crosses, and I'm doing one now. But Tangy F3 has the same vigor, and she's going to be pushing out of tents once again. So
Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Turn the friggin'
Alex
frogs
Jones,
gay.
baby,
Oh my
hell yeah!
I hope
I
that,
love that.
it doesn't have that as a side effect, but hey, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Dude, well, a little sneak preview for those out there in podcast land. We will have Alabrije on the show next week to discuss the upcoming Tangy F3 drop. For anyone out there who was unaware, Alabrije Genetics is the breeder of the Tangy Tibu Guana, which everyone around here just adores. So
She's special.
Yeah, I'm
can't wait.
I'm rocking his shirt because I'm a
Hell yeah.
sellout shill.
You're that guy.
Yeah, you're a shill for a
You
company
shill
you
for your
don't own.
buddies, man. You know, like
I'm
we
a shill for
a-
my buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a shill for all my buddies too.
Oh
but,
yeah, man, he's a great person. He's doing a pop-up in September 21st out here on the West Coast, and so I'm gonna be there if you want to, for any reason, want to come meet me. That'd be fucking terrible.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the zine. That's awesome, man. I
Which
wish.
G3 was in, and you, man.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
That's 3 of 5. How terrible for the other two.
Oh man, that's funny as shit. So, how about you, Johnny? What you got in the pipe tonight?
Dude, I am so glad we finally got to me because salute to one of our long lost compadres, Jay Merch. He
God
had
rest
done a
his soul.
recreation on Star Fox. He had selfed some Star Fox, Night All Star Fox, and this is what I am smoking on tonight. And thank God I am because, dude, I thought I was out of fucking weed.
What do you mean? What happened to
Yeah,
Jay
what
Merch?
I was just gonna ask. What happened to merch?
Oh,
He
he's
doesn't,
just living his dream, dude. He lives on
he
an island.
sailed.
Oh.
Yeah, I like.
I thought he was
Padre likes
dead.
to tell me that
I thought you were gonna tell me horrible news,
We
man.
Padre
did.
likes
We
to
always
tell me
yeah.
he went to a farm to live.
All right.
I've been
So-
no, he literally just got a dream job and he's living on an island. So I
Cool.
paint a picture that he's gone because he's living a much better life than I am right now. And it's pure jealousy.
And he's not making new content anymore. So that's why we
Yeah,
say
yeah.
long lost.
Gotcha. Still
Yep.
in the land of the living. That's awesome. Love you,
Quite
Jay
living.
Merch. If you hear this at all, hey, we miss you. Come back to us.
No doubt.
So
yeah,
that's
that's
the
the
Star
Star
Fox
Fox.
crossed with double grape.
No, he selfed it. Oh, I don't know. No,
Oh,
this
word.
is his selfed. He had selfed a night owl, Star
Awesome.
Fox, and fucking
That's like the S1.
yep, Star
Cool,
Fox
man, yeah.
S1 from J Merch.
He sent me a couple of those. I think in his cross, he crossed them with double grape. He crossed them with
Yeah.
a couple other things too.
Coal miner's daughter,
Yep,
and
yep. So
Yep, bunch of
how
those.
is it?
It is stony as shit. Now I say it's that because normally I like to start with terps because I'm a fucking terps guy, man.
Hell yeah.
But the thing is this particular plant may or may not have been just left in a tote on top of one of my tents here in my grow space.
Like after harvest, you kept
Like
it in a tote.
yeah,
for like,
meant to trim it, and
Oh,
then
dude.
but then I got high.
You're speaking my language right now. I still have a half of a plant in a tote. It's been there for about 6 weeks. Maybe
dude, so-
longer.
This was I'm so glad I actually found this because I had went and bought a zip from a fucking local dispensary and it was the worst fucking it was like every time I fucking tried to smoke a joint through it, it's like God damn it. So
That's disappointing.
it was
Make
the
that face
hardest it was the hardest week of my entire fucking smoking career. Let's just say that. So when I found this up on top of my tent, it had been dried over at the dry tent. So like there's still some fucking terps there. It's not baked. It's still sticky. It just doesn't smoke the greatest through a joint. But god damn if I don't get fucking higher than normal
Hell yeah.
smoking a joint off it. It's fucking really stony, which I do like, which is probably why it got put away for a later date because sometimes it's just a lot.
Just
Especially
start,
my
heart
norms
starts
are like
racing,
hella jelly and tangy, so something racy
Yeah.
like that is just fucking it does. So makes my mouth run too, if you can't tell. So
Those are all good qualities in a cannabis strain, especially for doing a podcast, if you ask me.
well, can be. Can be. If unless you got shit to say like I normally do, which is why we're so goddamn average. Like, god damn it, did you hear about that time I burnt the fucking tent down?
What? Really? No. Did you burn a tent down?
Well, not completely, but yeah, pretty much.
All right. Tell me, Apple.
Okay.
You know what that's
Fire,
from?
water. He's just like giving it the
So,
catastrophes in his gross face.
I have probably most people's, if you're a newer grower, most people's fucking like dream setup as far as tent growing goes. I got 2 4x4s right next to each other, 2 2x4s right next to them, but on like a 45-degree kind of vibe. It's in a 1-car garage. And right next to that, and this is why I say it's everyone's dream, is my garden hose.
Nice.
So this is how I fucking water. I walk over to my fucking 70-gallon beds and I just fucking spray the garden hose in there. Sometimes I smoke weed when I'm doing that. And
Get out of here!
just
Really?
loosely aim the shower function on garden hose around the fucking tent. And I forgot that I had been running these cheesy fucking extension cords to run some of the hurricane tents or the hurricane fans around this. And this was my brand new Gorilla Grow tent 4x4. I got the Gorilla 4x4 Lite because I had an incident where my ex sliced all my tents with a knife.
That was
So I
nice
have
of
to
her.
duct tape some of them up.
Oh my God.
I had to duct tape some of them up.
Yeah, baby.
And I finally decided I wanted to try the Gorilla Light version versus the AC Infinity. Their prices were comparable. So
What makes it light? Is it just like
it's a lighter material.
Yeah.
Like the canvas is lighter on the outside. I think the reflective, the size on the 4x4 is exactly the same size as the AC Infinity 4x4. Now the 2x4 has an extra like 4 inches on the
Who
Gorilla
doesn't want an
Light
extra
line,
4
that-
inches?
Exactly. So that was nice. But then I decided to fucking burn it down with the garden hose and the extension cords plugged in for those cheesy little hurricane fans. Yeah, they caught a fucking little bit too much moisture because they were below where I was watering. Thank God, though. I happen to be now. I have right next to these grow tents is my Barca Lounger recliner, which I sit and watch fucking Sopranos on.
Sopranos, superior TV show, man.
So thank God we happened to be in here fucking smoking, and we just heard this
What the fuck
fucking
you gonna do?
spark. So we heard this nasty fucking spark. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And my first thought was, oh shit, it's got to be that fucking light thing that I wired up. Remember, Monsta, you had helped me wire this fucking thing
I
up.
didn't help you wire anything.
See, it's Monster's fault. It's fucking
No, we had
Monster's
fucking been
You're
fault.
talking
coming
about
on
it.
our
I
show
have
to
zero
point
responsibility.
fingers at our host.
That's
coming
why
on
we're
here?
here.
Is that why you came on?
Dude, all we did was smoke joints and eat barbecue at your house. We didn't wire anything.
In his mind,
No,
that's
no.
wiring.
No. So no, he had recommended getting one of these because I was worried that the fucking timers I was using was still letting fucking light through, and I was getting herms that way.
Yeah.
So I got one of those fucking big switches.
Contactors.
Yeah, one of the big contactors.
Yep.
So you had just recommended what one to fucking get when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
So my first thought was I wired that motherfucker up. And I was like, no, I fucking know I'm not that stupid. But that's my first thought was I fucked that up because I'm fucking
Monsta.
look at what the reality was. So I obviously am that stupid because I was just watering lollygag with a fucking garden hose with electrical connections all over. So I obviously am that stupid that I could have fucked up the wiring. But no, it was one of those little electricals, and it fucking had just laid down enough spark to the back corner of this brand new fucking ish tent, melted the pan, melted the bottom of the tent. So now every time I overwater a little bit in my big bed, it fucking runs out the bottom and all on the fucking garage floor and onto the next 2x4, and it's so.
Oh, so the arc created the fire.
Yeah, the arc did.
It wasn't Monster. Gotcha.
The arc.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
I've
It
never
was
Well,
the
no,
arc,
let's
not
not
like
let-
a fucking fan. It
I
had
did-
nothing to do with the lights.
Let's
at
not
all.
let him off the hook so easily.
I did leave his house fucking floating. I mean, we were super stoned. and so I'm like, I don't remember wiring anything.
No, and then he left
No.
me to on my back fucking swing. He's like, all right, I gotta fucking go, guy. I gotta fucking drive to Buffalo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, so
It
his
absolutely.
entire remainder fucking 2-hour drive from my house to fucking Buffalo, I don't think I moved from that fucking swing.
Oh, it's because I gave you your first dab. You were fucked.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was the first
shit,
time
yeah.
I ever did.
So all I'm taking away from this is that you're pointing the finger at Monsta from a fire that
Rightly.
happened in your
No.
in your grow space.
No. I was fucking around. No, but that was my first thought.
I'm
My
just
first
playing.
thought was that I fucked that thing up, and that's where the art came from. I was like, no fucking way, man. No, what did I do? Is it a loose connection or something? I was like, no way, man.
So
Yeah,
what
it was
what
much
like
more simpler.
what can we take away from it, man? What did you learn? Like what can
I
we
So
did
share
not.
with
from now
people?
on, all my connections are on the outside of my fucking tents. Any electrical like extension cord that I need has to be on the outside.
That's
There's no more
big ding
fucking
ding ding.
internal.
I
Yep,
love
right
that.
there. Yep.
We can
That's
just
the only fucking change I made.
I see it all the time in on IG, on Reddit, in Discord sometimes. I mean, people I don't know where they get the idea that they want to put like extension cords and like power strips in their
On
there
the
should
tent.
not
floor.
be an outlet on the inside of your
I
tent.
see people
What
do it
is-
all the time on the floor.
Don't
And
do
I'm like,
it.
what the
What
fuck?
are you guys thinking? Like, you know how, I'm just, yeah, I would not want any of that shit anywhere near.
Now I had been rushed and I had thrown one inside of a tent at one point just because
We've all
I was
been rushed and thrown one inside before. I mean,
Exactly. Exactly.
I think that's how Johnny got most of his kids.
That's how your mother and I created you, son. And I'm glad we finally had me on the show that I could introduce the world to my
could share that
my
story.
son, the big green apple.
So
Daddy?
it's only 25 minutes in. Do you regret it yet? Inviting Y.A.G.I.S.I.P on.
Not at all. Not at
This
all.
is
we
the
knew
most
it was going to be
irritating-
a fucking.
Not at all.
I will say, before Howling and Stony Alpinists write us letters of anger, we miss you and sorry you couldn't be
Oh.
here. You'll
Yeah,
be next
you know,
one.
We will.
It's just too
We'll-
many people.
We'll
We
get
can't.
them on in a separate
Yeah.
incident. Like this is it. I think
Seven
that's when you
people
want
on one
real
show
information.
is a shit show.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if just for
Tried.
clarity, YAG is very much Padre and I. So you're
Yeah.
having YAG on, so it's YAG. And they are members of YAG the Circle. So they're like YAG curious. Especially the wolf.
We love them
Howlin'
dearly and we
Wolf,
miss
man.
them.
Yeah, love
I
those
mean,
guys.
we tried to
I tried to be
keep
nice
it
to
real.
my fellow co-host, but Johnny just had to dunk on him. Just remember that, guys. No, we miss
We
them
see how
dearly.
it
They are
is.
YAG.
All right. Well,
yeah. What are you
all right,
guys smoking on though? You asked us.
round out our opening segment, a cool 26 minutes into the show. That's what happens when you have 5 people. Let's all three run through what we're smoking on real quick. I'll go first. I have some Blue Sprayed Shoes remix from Night Owl. It's very bright. I would like use
Bright.
that. Very bright smelling. Very sharp. Like if this were a cheese, it would be the sharp cheddar, the sharp provolone. Yeah, it has like definitely a blueberry note, more of that like the skin and that kind of like a little bit of earthy kind of funk, but for sure blueberry. I love it for daytime use and for just kind of not getting me too stoned. I don't know. Like that's not a great like. That's not like a compliment to weed in most cases. Like it didn't get me too stoned, but
No.
for
it
real though,
definitely is.
it is. Like it's a different kind of stoned. Like I am as stoned as I would be from smoking on something else. It's just a different type of stoned, if you know what I mean.
Right. There's functional and non-functional stone, and there are varieties of each.
I heard it
Absolutely believe it.
I heard it described recently in a nice metaphor, whereas the THC in your cannabis is like the gunpowder in a firework. That's what'll get you up there, like that's what sends it up into the stratosphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
The terpenes and the cannabinoids, like the lesser cannabinoids and stuff, are like the colors and the pattern of the firework. It's what like makes the whole thing different from any other firework. You know what I mean? It's
Interesting. I've heard the analogy it's like a car where the THC is like the gas pedal and the terpenes and lesser cannabinoids are like the steering wheel.
I like that
really
too.
like that one too.
I think they both work. You know, like
I definitely think they do. And it's very interesting. Like wouldn't even consider if I were, but I really like that analogy
I
as
guess
well.
someone was just. I forget who it was, man. I want to give a shout out to. Why do I want to say Chad Westport was the guy who came up with that one. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He's very, very knowledgeable cannabis guy.
100%.
Yeah, lots of strains that are less blatantly psychoactive are a truly valid part of, you know, medicating your life. You don't want to be knocked out of your brain all the time.
For sure, you know?
Not only that, but you'll kill your tolerance with that high THC. You do not want to go high octane all the time. Spread it around. Give your cannabinoid system a treat. Try some lesser cannabinoids. Give it some CBD. Try some CBN.
Oh, yeah.
How about a little CBG? Like, there's a smorgasbord available to you. Don't just go straight THC. There's so much more than that.
Oh, amen, G3. Amen. Well, what are you smoking on tonight, G3? What you got?
I've got this mango aisle.
I should have known something mango. Where
Yeah.
where did Rev go? Where the hell is...
He's there.
Oh, what happened?
I just
He's
dropped
playing
some shit.
peekaboo.
We use the same program, so don't be surprised if you find us fucking around a little bit.
Gotcha. No worries.
We're quite familiar with what's going on here.
All right.
I was trying to be good. I'm sorry.
You're a big bad.
Oh shit!
You lack discipline.
Ain't that the truth?
T3, did you ever find that jar of mango smile?
No, it's
Oh, I
still
thought you were
missing
talking about the
somewhere.
piss jar.
Kidding me? I told you. I
That you
fucking
sent.
told you.
Somewhere.
Cap took it. I told you. Cap took it.
Piss
Cat, is
jar.
it at your house? Did
What
you
the-
take my jar of mango smile?
No,
my
I
last
definitely
jar.
didn't. I
fucking
definitely
somewhere
didn't.
in this
I wish I
house.
did, to be honest, because I could use another daytime strain.
She's the best.
That's like I'm using the one that I have right now. This like everything else I have right now is very much a nighttime kind of smoke. But
That sounds terrible. You gotta grow more narrow leaf, my friend.
I do.
Let me convert you to the pure narrow leaf lifestyle.
I have one that I've been digging too. On a side note, Cosmic Revival G3 reminded me it's a CBD THC cross, and that's
I love them.
awesome for daytime too. Like
Oh, hell yeah.
keeps you nice and even keeled.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same with
last
that,
Last but not least.
Yeah.
I'm smoking
No,
on
what are
something
you smoking on,
special
child?
tonight. Something special.
Yeah.
So
what
I
you
went
got?
and visited our buddy, Big Green Guy, yesterday. I live like 5 minutes from the kid, and I've been down this area for about a year, and I've seen him like 3 times. It's pathetic. So I went over and hung out with him yesterday. Got really baked. He had given me, I don't know, a good size amount of a new cross of his called George's Root Beer. And it is fucking phenomenal. He did a bang up job with this. I don't know if the camera's gonna do it any justice, but
Yeah,
it's
that looks
I like the bud
Some
structure.
really good
I
smoke.
love the bud structure.
yeah, nice tight fat buds. It's got a real like root beery kind of smell and taste, and I get it's unique. I've never smoked anything. I can't put my finger on it. I'm getting some little bit of like chem vibe too. Now I wish I could tell you the lineage. I totally forget. I was ripped when he was telling me. So there's some Irie genetics in there somewhere. I don't know. I think he's actually. He said he was going to be watching tonight. Maybe he'll chime in.
He's
and
here.
Let us know the lineage. But dude, it's really good.
George's root beer.
Yeah.
He's been talking it up for sure.
Not Mug, not A&W, not Heinz.
Heinz root beer.
Barks. Yeah, I don't know. There's also, I love root beer, man. It's like a totally underrated beverage.
I don't like the shit you buy in the convenience stores though, or the grocery stores. Like, I like that like heady root beer. You know what I mean? Like you gotta like
really good shit.
made with like real sugar. None of that fucking
That-
fructose corn
You
syrup
ever had-
bullshit.
Had good sour spirilla.
I have.
Yeah, nice. It's It's like I think that's like they like made it illegal for some reason. It was like
Really?
yeah, it's some sort of root that like they don't want people drinking anymore in real sarsaparilla. I don't know why.
I wonder if
I'm
it's
Okay.
thinking that.
slightly
So Big Green Guy chimed in. It's
alcoholic.
GMO root beer crossed with George. And I remember him saying there was some a rise in there somewhere. Maybe that's part of the George cross. But I'm a fan, man, and it tastes good, smokes good, fucking nice fat buds. What else can you ask for?
Not much, dude.
Just a
Not
shame
much
he's
at
such a
all.
monster.
And BGG was nice enough to design and have these printed.
Oh,
Oh,
my God!
shit.
Look at
They're
that.
so cute.
That's a tent with a
dope.
pirate flag. It says Tent Pirates. That's amazing.
Can we just acknowledge for 1 second the dude's a monster?
He is a terrible human being. He breeds great plants.
And human beings. His kids are like fucking jolly green
Dude, they're
giants.
giants.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
a
Wow,
Viking.
yeah.
Yeah. I've only met 2 of his kids, and they were pretty tall.
Wow. He's a real live Viking. That's well,
Yeah,
we
it's a
love you,
shame.
BGG. Thank you
We
for hooking it
certainly
up with
do.
the stickers, and thank you
Everything
for hanging
else,
out
man.
with Monsta, and he needs the supervision from time to time.
Make him feel like he has friends.
Yeah.
The rent a friend service.
Yep.
Isn't that really what a podcast is, though?
The only
think
reason
about
we
it.
do it is so we can talk to cool people and be like, "Hey, man, you want to hang out for a couple minutes?"
We hope somebody else can spit some knowledge our way and somebody else can hear it and benefit from it as well. It's basically what the fucking point of our show is.
It's that plus it's a rent a friend service for all the
Hell
people
yeah.
out there just who want to chill and smoke and talk to people about smoking. When I listen to podcasts on my own, I sometimes find myself like answering the questions, like
Getting into it.
engaging in the conversation as if I was there. I imagine there are people out there who do the same thing with us. So
I have one important question though. When you're doing that, do they talk back? Because if so,
there's only at times, and they told me to kill. I told them,
Kill.
yeah.
I thought that was the dog.
But yeah, no, that's,
No, so there's this question in the chat. My ADD is dying to fucking talk to
let's
about
bring
it.
it up.
It says, "Hey, I grow autos because of space, but I decided to grow a photo. I kept putting off 12 on, 12 on, 12 off. Now it's
goodness.
way up in my light. Should I like top it or tie it over, scrog it, or just grow autos?"
Guess what you do?
Don't scrap it.
No.
I mean,
you
I
bend
need
that
some more
bitch over.
information. I need to know, like,
So
have
Bend
you
it over.
flipped? Where is it in flower? Like,
Oh yeah.
If it's
oh,
if it's,
you
he
overgrew
hasn't
your home grow tent.
he
How
hasn't
healthy
flipped
is
it
it?
yet.
Eventually
He says he's
matters.
putting it off.
Yeah. How healthy is it? That would determine what you do.
Yeah,
If
if
it's
it's
still
healthy,
in
he said,
veg,
I
and
kept
it's healthy.
putting it off. Now
Well,
I keep.
Are we gonna
What
finally
you-
let my
Like,
English degree
So
shine?
how
Listen.
far into flower are we? Because my fucking tangies are up through my light, but they're fucking 6-7 weeks into flower now, though.
just bend that
We got-
bend that bitch over.
Bend
They like
that bitch over.
Yeah,
It still
if you're
isn't in
already
flower,
in
he
flower,
said.
just keep fucking.
Oh,
bending.
if you're
So I'm gonna throw in.
It's
I
not
think
hit stretch.
he should clone
whack
it
it back.
and
Yep.
start from a clone because he's telling me that it's already up in his light in
And
the
it's
veg
in
And
site,
it
veg.
hasn't flipped.
and it
yet.
hasn't flipped yet. Like so,
You'd have to
unless
chop it all the way back.
unless you have your light way down, like on the plant, and you have the ability to raise it quite a bit, then yeah, man, you don't have any fucking room to super crop. You got no room at all. Once
Yeah,
these
there's
hit the
nothing
stretch, I
to
mean, a typical stretch for a photo period, it depends on the strain. I've seen anything from like a 0.5 to like 4x expected stretch from
But what if
breeders'
he's
descriptions.
What if he's? Are you in like an autopot that you're running hydroponics? Are you in a large volume of soil? Can you
can't
whack
raise
this
that.
bitch right back? can you fucking cut her down?
Yeah, if you haven't flipped yet, you can chop that bitch
Yeah,
in half.
cut her fucking right
And
back.
Give it like a
Befo-
week and a half to 2 weeks to recover, because it's not going
Yeah.
to grow much after you do that, and then
Yeah.
flip it.
So
I
you can
think
As
just
long
like
as you've got volume of soil or whatever your medium is, as long
That's
as you've
so
got a
much
means to
trimming.
keep feeding.
how much of that plant would you just lop off, like on the main stem? Are you talking like you would just
Dude,
basically do like a really
yeah.
late topping and leave like the bottom third of the plant?
Yeah, but generally speaking, a lot of
look
people
for main
don't-
branches, exactly.
I would just try to bend that thing over. Like you
Yeah,
could take
that's what
that
I would do
branch
this too.
right where you want it, pinch the shit out of it, even if you need a pair of pliers, and I'm serious. You squeeze the fucking thing, and as soon as it gets brittle, you just bend it right over.
But that's
that's your
only as if you super crop, then you actually have
Yeah, now are
space
we-
to let
exactly,
her grow
is it
after that. She's
one-
still gonna have to stretch.
Are we
That's-
talking like one plant untrained at this point into the light? Like you got a whole fucking stem you can just
Oh my gosh, I
break
so
right
badly want to
over.
see a picture of her too.
Yeah.
Can we
Is
also
is
give bad
Is
advice?
it something
and
that's
say
been
just flip her
trained
to
that now
flower?
the whole tent is already scrogged out?
Yeah, just flip it, see what happens.
Just flip it. Let's just give bad advice. Just flip it to flower, and in
Fuck
a couple
around
of
and find out.
pictures.
Just oh, I love it.
Just remember,
That's
it was
his
Johnny
motto,
Apple
man, isn't
that
it?
gave you advice.
Can't you
No,
just
that's-
Good
like
advice if you have shit
take?
for brains.
You could take just like a super large clone, right? Just take the top like 4 nodes and let it root.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
The
harder,
roots
skim the
to root.
eventually
shit
be
out of it.
strong enough.
Harder to
No.
root something that big.
What you could do
and
though is
woody.
Yeah.
take the side branches from there up, and you probably get 2 or 3 out of it. Then
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really want
you
to
want
keep
a
this
nice
thing around,
tender area for any
I-
older material.
Yeah,
is
it's not gonna do
tougher
no
to
roots.
fucking
Don't
like
come
old
from
mature.
there.
Yeah, you want fresh
Yeah.
green, and not yeah.
I love it.
Sometimes those they're hollow in the center too. The fucking stems are super hollow.
Flip it to flower,
Yeah.
let
Let
chaos ensue.
That's
I
right.
mean,
La-
really,
YAG
you're gonna have to
logic.
go in with a machete to
That's right.
handle.
Just remember, Johnny Apple.
that
He wants you to flip it now. Sorry,
I don't
Chief
know,
Green.
man. Like I still listen. If it's up in your light and you're out of room, you got to clone it and raise the clone and then flip that bitch.
it's probably your best option.
We did hear him say in the chat, like I thought him say he can't raise it. Oh, he can't raise the light. All right, so yeah, like you can't if you
wasn't
can't
talking
raise
about the
your
plant.
light, then you're kind of fucked. Like you're kind of out of options. The plant is dictating your next move, and
Plant is the boss.
I would fucking take a
You
good,
could try
a
and
good
do a
snip or
G3
three.
with her first photo and just grow higher and higher out of 10.
Yep.
Oh.
You just kind of like MacGyver yourself a 10 out of whatever. You can
But I
figure
think you
out.
might get a better if you've got enough soil. He said he's growing organic, but if he's got enough soil, you might find a better recovery time by fucking whacking it back than you would getting a clone to root and then getting that the size to flip.
All right,
You're
I think we've
probably
given
right.
this fucker all the advice we
Yeah,
could give him.
yeah, right. Listen, hey, that,
And
that's
I
the
mean
best
fucker in the
goddamn free
nicest way.
advice you could
If you
ever
don't know
get.
me, Doug, I mean fucker in the
We
nicest
love you,
possible
Doug.
way. Good luck,
Thanks
brother.
for chiming in. That was a good question to ask. You know,
It
It's
was a
like-
Please
good
share a
question.
picture on
Actually-
our Discord. I would love to see
Yeah,
her play.
pop into our Discord and send us a picture.
I'd
Let
love to see her.
we could see what
Yeah,
we're
dude.
see what
Come
we're
on
working
in.
with. Show me what you're working with.
Oh, it's funny, dude. So they, yeah, common issue, dude. I do it all the time. Just over veg, you know. I'd
Yeah,
take
we
some
know you
clones.
do it all the time.
I know.
I do want to know
Yeah.
because I've usually when you over veg, it's like you're like cutting it close, like our buddy Howling, where he got real close and he overgrew. But I want to know at what point you're like, man, it's touching the light. I might have overgrown because that's a situation that I would do. I just walk in after a few weeks and be like, ah, shit.
Dude, so my last photo run, like it was day 10 of flower, day 11, and they're already like 3/4 of the way up the tent, like as almost up to my neck. You know, I'm 6'2".
Yeah.
and they're up to here, and the lights up as far as it can go. I'm just like, oh, like the tops are still very bendy and like flexible. That's kind of how you know they're still stretching. Once they get solid and like that, you can't bend that top anymore. You kind of start to see those calyxes swell and like the resin start to produce. That means you're in bud set. The stretch is over. So like I don't know. I know when you're at day 10 and you're like already pushing the limits. Man, if you haven't even flipped yet and you're pushing the limits. So yeah, just don't overgrow your tent, man. You don't want to do that. It's stressful. It causes all sorts of issues with nutrients, like deficiencies.
You're using your grow fan wrong, you fucking idiot.
A wise man once said. So, before the show, we were kind of talking a little bit about you guys' grow styles. What can you tell me about how you grow?
Well, I do know at one point it was earthboxes versus autopots between our podcasts, but I'll let my dear friend Johnny.
You grew midget plants, and we grew big ones.
So why don't we just roll with that, man? It sounds like that's what we're like. It's autopots versus earthbox. They're both SIP systems, right?
Yes, I advocate.
Except one of them
and we
sips
always,
like a little bitch.
one of them slightly more bulimic and anorexic versus.
I think the other one, the other one
These
pukes.
autopots take big old manly.
There are a
gulps.
couple reasons why.
You ever see that dude who won the chugging contest? You know who I'm talking about?
No.
He drank a gallon
Where
of
did he watch the
lemonade in
chugging?
like
Oh, Jesus.
15 seconds. It was
What
like the
the
most
fuck?
inhuman thing
Why?
I've ever seen.
Any
why?
beverage I can think of is better
I
than lemonade,
have
really.
to find. Hold on one sec.
I got.
Let me drink some tart
This
shit
is
real quick.
incredible.
Jesus.
No, like you know how they do a hot dog eating contest?
Yeah.
They did a
Yeah.
lemonade drinking contest.
No.
Yeah.
love
Yeah, these
lemonade.
people
Why
just
ruin
like
it?
open their throats and pour it straight into
Oh,
their
this dude's
stomach.
an absolute professional at this shit. All right,
Yeah, they
hold on. You ready?
train. It's amazing.
You ready to have your minds blown?
Always.
Oh,
Always
hold
ready
on.
to be
First,
blown.
YouTube has to play a fucking ad, of course.
Dude, I remember when ad free was $10 a month, and now it's like $20 a month or something. I looked into it because I was sick of
Dude.
the ads because they're getting ridiculous.
It is insane. I just
20
looked
They
at
grand
my.
give you
month.
their music stuff too.
I don't want their music. I have Spotify.
I
It
know.
fucking blows it out of the
but
water.
They don't give you a choice to only have one or the other.
I know.
Dumb.
All right, here you go. Here you go. Just for you guys.
What?
Oh no, this is just the puking part
Holy
afterwards.
shit!
Fuck.
Holy shit! That's exactly what
I don't
Tangy
wanna see
smells
that.
like. When he
don't
was
wanna see that
puking
at
at
all.
Johnny, shut
Here
your
he is.
goddamn
Here
mouth.
he is. Here he is.
No.
Jesus.
At
cat.
21 seconds.
Badlands in a zone here. I don't know the.
In the zone.
In the zone. They call him Badlands.
Oh my god!
How many? Does that say 21 seconds?
Absolutely.
A gallon of lemonade.
You know that there's a lot of people predicted we were gonna come and yag the shit up and fuck your show up, and
Dude, the show's
I-
He doesn't need any
the show's
help.
already
we don't
a
need any
mess.
help.
Yeah,
don't need
no
any
matter
fucking
what
help.
YAG does, you showed puking videos. We win.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Ain't that the goddamn truth?
Yeah, it's
Man.
some funny shit.
Yeah, I apologize.
That's disgusting, and I'm disappointed that someone would participate in that.
How
I wonder
did we
why.
end up talking about that? Like, what? Why did we get
Who the fuck
on the
knows?
lemonade? Yeah, no,
I
it's,
couldn't tell you.
they say short-term memory loss is. a
the
side
last
effect.
I remember talking about was the difference in grow styles with the autopots.
Oh yeah, the
Autopots.
Oh, we were
the
talking about
Autopots.
sipping
You were
like
in-
little
that's right.
bitches and then big
I
old
was-
men.
little
All right,
bitches.
now
I was
it
trying
makes
to
sense.
defend YAG's honor, but I will note before we'll get into the differences and how we're not.
Let's
the,
talk
the
about
main difference
sipping.
is the I advocated for the cheapest option. that's why I went with earth boxes at the
I
time.
feel that.
That's just the real reality is I Johnny turned me on to the idea of them, and I fucking embraced it. And then Johnny, led the way. Then he got an autopot, so he got the tray to grow.
So
So he
So
left me,
now
but
for
let's be
those
clear.
5-year-olds out there, real quick, what is a SIP system? What are we talking about
it
here?
is a sub-irrigated planter. So anything that waters from the bottom with, like a reservoir or anything like that.
Cool.
So autopots is a SIP system. It's a
Absolutely.
sub-irrigated. Yep. They
So
are
is
both
an earth box.
sub-irrigated planter. So we can
Anything
be
that's
fair
butt chugging.
and say
Automated
that
butt chuggers.
anything that is fucking butt chugging is
Yep.
going to provide better results, period. It lets the plants figure it out for the fucking selves. It's
Yeah.
Okay.
period.
Even if you
That
like
is
make, you
stand
can.
up. No.
I've seen them done out of like just a 5-gallon bucket, and people put like a
Yeah.
layer of perlite at
Things
the
even
bottom.
work better than trying to fucking hand water a 5-gallon pot yourself.
Yep.
Even those things work fucking relatively good as long as you're making sure to clean those like tubey things. I think, yeah,
Yeah,
they
Tutal in
get
our
jummed
Discord
up
uses
or
them.
gummed up. Yeah.
Thanks. Badger just reminded me. Make sure you guys use code CC10 for your autopots.
Hell
Aha,
yeah.
there you go.
Hell yeah. We don't have an earth box code, do you guys?
No, we are
we
not
don't have any
sponsored by-
codes.
We fuck
No,
around
Yes,
and
our
we
anti-sponsor.
We're very
exactly. We are. Our
That's right.
biggest joke
The
is
opening of
that
your
we are
show kind of
sponsored
gives
by.
that away, right? I love it. Like,
No,
yeah,
it's a surprise.
you-
We're like, why
are you
aren't
sick
people
of
reaching
hearing
out
about
to us?
products you don't fucking want and don't fucking need,
That was Johnny off the cuff.
can't afford?
That
love
was
it.
literally.
One of my-
I was at work in the fucking steel mill when I made that fucking recording on my
Listen,
iPhone.
Yeah.
Because every time I hear it, I say to myself, God damn it, I am. I am right there with you, Johnny.
Yeah.
So
So, anywho, we're selling our own Earth. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
we have the YAG, the
We have a
YAG-SIP
YAG
system.
bug. No,
YAG-SIP.
no, we very much enjoy like do it yourself too, and watching a lot of people in all of the discords we share, especially making their own shit. And so I kind of copied that and made my own SIP out of a tote. I'm on my first run and it's working. So I think that just proves that any SIP will work, because even the piece of shit one that I made, it's working, and I've done zero. So
Any SIP is a good SIP.
any SIP is a good SIP.
But
so if you can get a SIP, you're better off.
There has to be a couple like. All right, first, like, can you tell me about the SIP you made? Like, how did you do this out of a tote?
Yeah, so I got one of those 7-gallon totes at Home Depot, I think, or as us fancy people call them, Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Home Depot. But no, it's a 7-gallon, so it's basically of the same size of a 5-gallon, just longer. And you just take the lid and cut it out and kind of shove it in there, and then drill some holes in it so that it has like you can get air and your roots can grow through into the reservoir. And
Is
you
that
just
your cat again?
put soil on
she's-
top,
Don't mind her.
and that's it. And then you make sure you have a PVC tube that runs to the top. And I'm just using cardboard as my mulch cover for right now.
So
It's
there's
just the
always
first run.
that's like I think the kind of the bottom, one of the first like fundamentals of SIPs is like you got to have some sort of layer at the bottom of the
Yes.
pot to at least like aid in the wicking process. Not
Yeah, absolutely.
like give some area for there to be like not like a super dense soil. You know what I mean? You could get like anaerobic conditions down there sometimes.
Yeah.
So there's a trick to these earth boxes, and it's you can't just let them sit in stagnant water because we run them organically.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole reason I started. I wanted to grow with the earth boxes because I started growing organic and I grow
Hell yeah.
no-till, and I use my earth boxes no-till. So
Nice.
there was a comment earlier, and it was something like autopots is no brain method. It does. It's like, really, I have an earth box that I have fucking used the same soil 4 different fucking grows now and top dressed 2 different times and grown bangers out of with photo periods. And for very little money, very little thinking. Literally just water down the fucking tube. My entire Tangy Grow I just did in this earth box, water only. No fucking teas, no microbes, no fucking nothing. Just
That's
an
cool.
earth box that I did not top dress because they're
No?
not asking for it. What's nice is there's a caveat. They have these nice plastic covers you put over top of them, and they develop feeder roots up at the top.
Yeah.
And when you see these feeder roots, that's telling you, I'm fucking hungry. Give me a top dressing. You can't see those if you don't have like a really heavy mulch layer, or you have to like dig through your mulch layer if you have like a heavy, reused, re-amended fucking soil.
If
Like,
you've top dressed a lot.
exactly. So
That's
this
cool.
plant, this Tangy plant, it's one plant and a 2x4, and she filled the whole thing all the way up to the light, like we were talking about. But
Yeah,
it was
everybody
water
that grows
only.
Those
And
things have been huge. It's
Yeah,
a big
and
fucking plant.
What I'm saying is,
realistically,
it was literally just
Yeah.
water only with reused earth box that's been through like 4 different runs and then maybe had 2 fucking top dressings in it. Just that you have to let, because if you don't, and this is what I was trying to get to, the water would obviously, if it's sitting in water for what, how many grows do you grow a year, right? This thing's probably a year old, this one earth box, without being changed, dumped out, without nothing. So if you had left water in it with at the bottom touching the soil the entire time, that shit would get moldy and stagnant and gross. So what you have to do is you have to let these things go empty.
completely dry.
Yeah.
It's just like
Word.
how an
Now-
autopot works.
Yeah, it's so you're just
But you're hand doing it.
your
Exactly.
hand,
Yeah.
you're the
It's
hand,
hand doing
you
it.
are the
Yep.
aqua valve. in
Now
this
with
case.
with the
Exactly.
autopots, you've got a much bigger reservoir, because
100%.
this thing has 2 gallons, and when this bitch was in flower, you're fucking watering
yeah.
it every
Every
other
every-
fucking day.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
at least
Every
like
2
I mean,
gallons.
that's at least every other day, man. Like I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
don't know,
buys
if
you
you're
time, and it
growing
also
in-
makes you realize if you're hand watering how underwater
Underwatering you
because
are.
if you're
Yeah,
going through
yeah.
2 gallons every other day, you're like, shit, I did not hand water enough water.
Exactly.
But I will say, like, there's one of the big reasons that I didn't get autopots wasn't just price at the beginning. It was I had to be able to break down my tent as quickly as possible and move things because of the setup I had at the time. So I couldn't have any big reservoirs of water sitting and being like, fuck, what do I do with 10 gallons of water real quick, right? So that's really one of those 2 were the main reasons. And so like you look at the autopots and it really is SIPs on steroids. Like there's no denying that you can get fucking phenomenal plants with very little effort. I just like to be able to break shit up and throw it and disappear real quick. You know what I mean?
No, I absolutely see the appeal in in the earth box thing.
Yeah,
too.
they both have their
It's-
advantages.
What's cool
Different
about them too,
strokes.
like Johnny said, I think it's a little easier to do the no-till method because how many gallons do they hold? 15?
Well, I said like 10.
It starts
right?
about 7 exactly, and I
Yeah.
think you could probably get it to mound up. You could probably have a huge
Mound up.
mound and maybe get like 12 gallons if your top 2 was worm castings. But you're probably
Yeah.
really pushing it at that point.
Okay.
So about 10 gallons is really maxing it with a really good mound of top dressing.
Every time that I've had to refill one, I just use 1 cubic foot of. I've used Build a Soil Light when I first got into it, so just 1 bag in, and then I, end up top dressing worm castings I make and shit like that. So it ends up being pretty mounded up for a while. And I really think half the reason that Johnny and I like talking about earth boxes is because it gives us an excuse to say mound just super frequently.
I don't
and
know.
sound like we know what we're
I
talking
disagree.
about.
That's not. I don't know. I prefer
Who doesn't like
moist.
saying mound? Yeah, moist mound. Keep the moist mound for the worms.
No, but when I say I've done only 2 top dressings,
Just
those are
beautiful
huge.
alliteration.
Those are literally huge top dressings. So I'm talking like probably 2 cups of fucking craft blend and I don't know, 2 gallons maybe of worm castings or a gallon of fucking compost, whichever one it is I'm using.
Are you running any cover crop?
I don't typically. I have before, and I think one of them has had cover crop in the earth box. But I find that craft blend and a worm casting is so much simpler than trying to manage a cover crop in the 7-gallon rectangular top. It's just
Yeah.
The time isn't there.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
usually wanting to
so
get it right back into fucking another plant into it so
I
I can get it back into.
I've
I
been
never run
doing.
cover crop because then you have to run the lights, right? So I take the because I live in Southern California, so any second that I'm not running electricity saves me a fortune. So I am
Now,
like a energy vampire. So if I see
for
shit, I
sure.
fucking like cut that shit out, right? So 2 weeks off of lights, okay, when I'm drying is just equalizing the amount of money I have to pay to portable AC dry.
Exactly. Now I do run cover crop in my big beds. I have two rectangular 3x3 beds in both of the 4x4s. So there's 70 gallons of that to start
Oh,
with.
geez.
So I do run cover crop in those because it's a huge bed. So
Yeah.
typically I have enough time, and it's so beneficial in that space because I just chop it down. There's a huge green foliar in there, a little craft blend on top of that, and then my own worm castings on top of that. And it's just fucking, man, it resolves so many issues most of the time.
A bed is the real, true method of if you want to do no-till. Like that's probably what I would advise you look into is a bed. You don't have to water that much because it's so much soil, but like
Mm-hmm.
for a couple, like for certain situations, it's not ideal. Like I
No,
don't.
but it would be super funny to see someone try and break down fucking 70 pounds of soil and or
So
70 gallons of
it's
soil
Oh,
and
exact-
70
shit.
So my
gallons, man.
dad's
How
got
many
the
70
pounds
same.
is that? That's the question. It's got to be
Fucking
like
hundreds.
It's
500
fucking
pounds
heavy.
of soil when it's saturated.
Heavy. I think it's like 110
Johnny,
pounds.
try
Hey,
to
homie, grab
deadlift.
this corner.
So,
Can
no.
you deadlift your
That's
fucking
exactly
bed?
right. So my dad's got a 2x4, and we put a 2x4 bed in his 2x4, and it's full of fucking soil. It's
Holy
ridiculous
Yeah,
because
it's
the
so
earth
it's
box does the same fucking thing. It's almost too much in that much
yeah,
space, but it was
I
like,
hear
oh,
that.
he wanted like, I just want a water only, and we really hadn't discovered fucking an affordable sub irrigated method at that
Yeah,
time.
but once if like to do the true no-till like real method, like a bed is an ideal setup for it. You can like I've been doing it in my autopot XXLs, man, the magnums, those 9-gallon pots, and I just ripped out that root like a week after harvest. Just cut around like a little bit of those strong roots
Mm-hmm.
at the base. Just cut it
Yep.
out with a pocket knife, rip that sucker out, and planted my 1 gallon. Like I'd started seeds in the 1 gallon and transplanted them right in there. And I've been top dressing, like you said, the feeder roots, everything, man. It's actually a beautiful system. It's been working great. So I think you can get
You
away with kind of like a
you just
faux no-till. In
well, and I saw your post.
Photo.
You got those
yeah,
feeder roots. They're so
photo.
yeah, they're
That's
so cool to
exactly right.
see.
It's exactly
Yeah.
right.
But you're really
Now, so
just
you had
mimicking
those.
nature. So you're doing literally it was designed to do through nature, right?
Mhm.
Is
I
to
am.
get
So I don't
nutrients from the
have
top.
worms, but I do.
You buy the castings, don't you?
I do have castings, and I got like I got to re up on my my build a
You,
flower from Build a Soil.
There you go.
no, you
Dude,
need to get yourself a worm bin and
stinky
start
shit.
Yeah,
your
get
own
yourself
and
a
make
worm
your
bin,
own.
dude.
Yeah,
I
I
know
really
you
do.
eat
I
healthy
really
enough that
do.
you guys and you garden too.
Tell so.
All
Tell
that
me about
gardening
that,
shit.
man.
Oh,
What do you guys do? You got like a
I
Oh,
have an
dude.
urban worm bin.
word,
So,
dude.
or an urban
Dude
worm
lives
bag.
right down the street from me. In fact,
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, those things are fucking fantastic.
I
I started mine, what's it been? Maybe fucking shit, 2 or 3 years now, maybe?
that's. Let
Uh
me think. Urbanwormcompany.com
Urban worm bag or something like
urban.
that. Yeah. Urban worm bag. Now, um I literally have had it so long that I've gone through a huge learning curve. And what I've learned is that it is so simple. No matter what you do, you can't do it wrong. Worms create their own fucking population. So they adjust their population based on how much you feed or don't feed. So the more organic material you put in the top of this fucking thing, the more worm castings you're going to get out at the bottom because your worm population starts to grow. It's amazing. It's so simple. especially if you have like you garden cats. So I know
Ooh.
all your garden clippings go in the top of this thing. Like any extra cucumbers you harvested too many or too many tomatoes, everything goes in this thing, man. And the worms bloop, eat it up.
Eggshells, like
Free
what about
worm
like
cast.
leftover? How about like leftover DiGiorno pizza? Will the
As
worms
long
eat
as
So,
that?
it's not
it's-
cheese,
you're-
bread, or meat, right?
5-day
You wanna
old
cheese bread or meat or
DiGiorno pizza.
avocado. No,
Avocado.
avocado's the
No,
chicken.
you can do avocado,
The worms
fine.
love avocado. They love
Yeah.
avocado and they fucking love watermelon. Holy
He
shit.
has this urban worm bin, and then I have
Yep.
a regular layer one that he bought me. And then you can turn any
look at
tote
these.
into a worm bin.
Oh, that's so
I'd like the
And
fancy ones.
the
Like
mushroom
Clackamas
forest.
Coots gets a huge tote, puts
These
a
didn't
bunch of shit
exist
in
when I
there, and
got
comes
mine.
back.
Patriotic as fuck.
Mine's a
months
much
later.
older model than this for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually it is what it says it is, man. Like it's meant to go in like a house and
It's
be
exactly. Mine sits in my basement. So you can't like put it's not something you want to put in the garage if you're in freezing temperatures. If your
All
garage
right,
stays
word.
like relatively normal, that's fine. But it's
So
something
I could
like I put
I
it
could
in my
have
basement.
this up in my attic, like in my like.
Sit right
Fuck,
next to your
dude.
grow room.
What
Fuck
am
yeah,
I
dude.
doing? Actually, what I was doing is picking up worm castings at this guy's house because he makes them too. I was just like,
See?
I could
It's
buy
so
his
simple,
product or I could just buy his worm castings. And
It
I
is
went with
so simple.
option B.
Don't you have to like do a mixture of organic material? I mean, it's all organic
So-
material, but at,
So
like
what I've
and
started doing
paper and
is
stuff?
really simple. Is the worms fucking love it. So I put all my like table scraps in the top of this thing. That's like a lot of my green material now. All the garden clippings that I can like genuinely fit in this small bag. I create more than this bag can handle, so I need to get a couple more probably at this point, to be honest. Because your worm population grows so much that they consume. Like I probably have 10,000 worms in this bag at this
No
time
shit.
right now.
Whoa.
Well,
And
what are
they
you gonna
eat
do with
so
all of them?
fucking quickly?
Well,
Create
like
the
he
worm
said, they
castings. So now what I
auto-regulate,
do,
right?
exactly, they auto-regulate themselves. So now to keep my population heavy, what I do is I take wheatgrass and I take wheat seed and I grow wheatgrass mats. And I flip them over top on that every once in a while, and you start to see your worms come up in that, and that's when they really start to fucking really breed heavy. They get
Okay.
in this worm or the wheatgrass mat, and it's just huge.
They
I can
eat
post
it
a
and
picture.
fucking it, basically.
I'll post a picture in your
like a
Discord
dream
general
come
chat.
true for some people.
It is, dude. It is breeding grounds 101. So then what I do is I take
It's like
compost.
a nightclub for worms. It's like
Yeah, somewhere in Germany.
So instead of trying to figure out
hear
my
the shitty
brown
techno
degree,
Johnny would know.
instead of
They're all
trying to figure
related
out
to drowning.
instead of trying to figure out my brown to green ratio and shit, I just put compost on top of all that shit.
Yeah.
So and then they get on top. So
Alright.
after the green mats, I put a bag of fucking compost if I have to buy it because I'm just starting to grow my own or build my own compost pile. So I'm not confident yet. So a bag of like mushroom compost for $5 on top of that afterwards, and then they get in and then they immediately turn that compost into fucking worm castings. So,
Okay.
That's
dude,
cool,
it's
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
you
can
get end
do
up
a
with
lot of
so
really
many.
cool
So
stuff.
I've top
Alright,
dressed my entire
I'm
worm or
kinda
my
sold,
3x3
not
bed
gonna
two
lie.
different times, both of them with no money at all, other than the 5 bag of fucking compost.
All right.
And wheatgrass seed is
Your
super
own
easy to grow.
compost.
Yeah,
Like your
wheatgrass is
own
easy.
compost. Like homegrown compost.
That's the way to go eventually.
Well,
Yeah. You want to
and
get
then-
to your own compost pile and pulling it out of or leaf mold. I've used leaf mold one time instead of buying a bag of compost. I used leaf mold. So leaf mold, I take my leaves and I rake them up at the end of the year and I put them in a black bag and then it turns into this black rich fucking gold. It's like the
Hell
most
yeah.
beautiful. It looks like peat moss almost, and when it's at its richest, blackest, fine. Oh man! So I put
cool,
that in
dude.
there a couple different times.
It's getting hard. He's so excited. I love
Well,
it.
what I'm going to need you to do for me is come back into the Cultivation Conversation Discord just for like
Yeah.
a hot minute and post some pictures and show the people what you've been up to, making your leaf mold in your earth box. All this within your
the
worm
fun stuff.
castings, man.
No,
That sounds
no,
fun, man. I want to
One
see it. I
more,
really
one
do.
more point.
Johnny can
Captain,
do it.
I
before we
miss
move on.
you. I miss having you
Done.
in the nest,
all do.
Johnny.
Oh God.
I do.
I am far
You
too
too,
average.
Rev. I miss you.
Hey
You
man,
are-
Revna's not gone anywhere. And by the way, I did not intend to speak in the third person, but I'm just gonna start. Nah, fuck, I already fucked it up.
Love you guys.
No, one more point before we move on from the worm bins, though, because I highly encourage it to everyone. But it also leads to a really cool side effect: is if you have a worm bin, you can start making your own sprouted seed teas, and you blend it and give the remnants to the worms, so nothing's wasted, and they're fed,
Interesting.
and your fucking plants are stoked on life.
Love
Man,
it.
that's what a really cool way to like close the loop, as they say, like in
Exactly.
your house.
One small victory that you can be like, hey man, I feel like I'm doing everything right.
You can apply these methods in a synthetic nutrient system too, or a Monsta. Use a nice top dress.
I'm a big fan of sprouted seed teas. Sprouted corn teas, my
Enzymes,
favorite.
Yeah.
What about like a worm casting top dress? Would
You've
that?
been using worm castings
Dude.
for years to make my teas. I
Fuck
mean,
yeah.
you can't advocate that shit enough, man. A lot of people think that you can't use that type of shit with salts, but you can.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Get one of these
Easy
things.
sprout.
Or just use a mason jar, man. Don't have people buy something that they don't. Just use a mason jar they already have.
That works too. but
Unless
this
you're
is
getting a
easier.
deal from them, then we'll plug it, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
This
Unless
has
we got
nice
a code,
drain.
we ain't
This has.
plugging. No.
I like that one because there's holes in the bottom of it,
Yeah,
so
no,
it makes
we've
for a
talked about
nice
you can
drain.
Mm-hmm.
It makes for a nice when you go to drain your seeds. It's just
Word.
easier in those.
All
But
right,
it's
that's
super
cool,
easy.
man.
Dude, I went to the local like Amish store and bought a 50-pound bag of wheat seed for $20. And my chickens eat sprouted fucking seeds. The worms eat sprouted seeds. The sprouted seed teas. It's so easy. It's so cheap, and it's so easy to do yourself, and it's so beneficial to your plants. It's incredible.
It's funny, man. You know what? I just drank a beer. You know what that kind of is a sprouted seed tea.
It's
Little
enzymes, man.
bits.
Yep.
Enzymes, yeah.
It's
Mhm.
malted,
Malted barley.
is in
Yeah.
fact
Exactly.
a sprouted seed.
It's
Yep.
fantastic.
And if you wanted to make a sprouted seed tea
I know.
easy as
Just
possible,
grab
get yourself
shit
some
from
fucking
the
malt.
brewery.
Exactly. Just grab some
It's
malt
amazing the
and
overlap.
grind it up and soak it in some water. Grind it up in your blender. Just malted barley. That's it.
That's
That
funny,
is
man.
literally sprouted wheat or
yeah,
sprouted barley. I mean,
go to the brewery store, go to the brewery,
Sprouted
get
seed
rice
tea
hulls and
is so
malted
easy.
barley.
Amen.
exactly. If you didn't want to sprout, if sprouting your own intimidated you, exactly. Malted barley is so
Well, it's-
easy, and it's already sprouted. Put it in a
There you
blender,
go.
some water.
If
water it
sprouting
in.
seeds is too
Enzymes.
much for people, they pick the wrong hobby because this is what this hobby is.
Seriously.
That's it.
I can't
Right,
plant more
love
than
that.
one a fucking week. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. It's time. It's time for our weekly segment here. We're gonna do a no-knock garden raid
Oh
on
shit!
one
Don't
of our
shoot the dogs.
beloved Patreon supporters, who in fact
Don't
has
shoot
a dog.
Jersey.
We are not going to touch the corgi tonight.
Leave
my
that to
friend,
the
I
ATF.
promise. But we are coming after
nothing
you,
else, save the
grown
corgi.
in the mitten. We're coming into
Oh
your
my
garden,
goodness.
sir.
And Her Majesty Queen Jester.
We're going to show the
Queen
people
Jester.
what you got growing on.
Look at this bastard.
Leaves.
Oh, let me get my... Yep, there you
Oh,
go.
I
You
thought
got
he
my
had the
face out
captain
of the way
sticker
there.
for a
Thank
second.
You, thank you.
I was gonna be furious.
So this is a very, very nice looking plant. I think he grows a lot of autos. I know he's an auto
Yes.
guy.
Yeah, he does wave. He's perpetual, and he grows autos, and he does I swear to God, he plants a new wave every fucking day.
It feels like every week he's planting another seed.
Yeah, that looks nice and
I'm
happy.
actually seeing a type of SIP system here.
Yeah, he
One of
uses
those-
AC
He's-
infinity bases,
Right, the watering
self-watering.
bases.
Self-watering bases.
That's
from
got to be
AC
the only
Infinity.
product AC Infinity has that can't catch your house on fire. Use code Cultivation if you need
Not
it.
yet.
You gotta throw that in there. I was just about to do it, man. That's so funny.
Their inline fans, I think, have been proven by the test of time, I'd say.
Hey man,
Is
as
Is
much
that
shit
one
as
of
I
those
talk about
behind
him,
it?
I have
Is
their
that a
tens.
Gen 1 or a Gen 2? I gotta just question. The Gen 1s stopped oscillating.
He
Yep.
does have a good plan, though. If any of the other shit catches on fire, his tent is full of standing water.
Oh, we're just making fun, Mitten. I promise.
No, no,
We love you.
he's a great
This is
dude.
a
He knows it.
beautiful looking auto. If I had to guess, right, day wise, right, I'm thinking day like 27, maybe 25. Something like that. Maybe 30.
I'd
Do you have
say
the answer, or are we
30.
just guessing? Because
He's just
I don't know
guessing.
at
have the
all.
answer.
I'm just guessing.
Oh,
If I-
okay.
If I see
No,
a
no.
plant like this, I want it to be X days old, auto
Yeah,
flower
okay.
wise.
Okay.
Like
I was just
that-
going to say, if we can't find the right answer, it's day 40. I'm just kidding.
well,
Prove me
no,
wrong.
it's got to be it's got to be in the 20s.
Yeah.
I would think you're in like a. It looks like
I
a
don't know. I'd
tiny,
say
maybe
I'd say
a
potentially early 30s there.
3-gallon pot. I'm gonna guess. So
Maybe
that
not
is one of the
3 gallon.
deciding factors on your
Right. How
overall
big is the pot?
size. Let us know,
Happy
man. How do
regardless.
those AC bases
Badgers-
work out for you? I've
27, 35.
I've heard mixed
Both
reviews.
of those.
So what he has to do is actually he has to clip his roots back.
Yeah.
They come out the bottom of his pot so often that he has to clip them back, and he changes his wicks every time he grows. But he
Really?
fucking loves them. Yeah, he's got his system
he
down.
does well.
It's yeah. We've had him on the
He-
show. He fucking
Oh,
he told
word.
us about it. Yeah. Yep.
He kept
So they
trying to
do
bully me
work
into
pretty
perpetual.
damn well. You just
All
have
right.
to make sure you change the wicks and trim, and you have to prune the
Oh,
roots.
they like grow down into that. Yeah,
I gotta
Yep.
do that shit all
Yeah.
the time with autopots.
Yeah, well, that's
Yep.
why they give you that like copper lining
copper
with the
sock.
autopots.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't be
Well, see,
afraid
they
to
get-
cut your roots. The plants don't even notice it.
What
They
you
really
do in
don't.
earthboxes is you
Yeah.
don't notice
You take, like, a
until
little-
months later when nothing's
if they're
growing
healthy,
anymore.
if they're healthy, they don't notice it.
Yeah, yeah. If your plants like looks like shit, I mean,
Yes.
Hey, don't take shots
know.
at me like that.
That fucking
These
plant
are-
needs something. Monsta
These-
said it doesn't even notice a root cut, but it's unhealthy as shit.
his plants look really, really good. They look happy and
Yeah.
healthy.
He does a really well job, man.
All right,
He-
we
he's
got
a
He's all up in
machine,
the
man.
air.
someone in the chat says they love the bases. What up? What up,
hell
Do
yeah.
Grow?
What up,
Says he
Do?
loves the bases. Cool.
What up, dog?
What's up, buddy?
Nice.
Thanks for
chiming
stopping
in,
by.
man. Yeah. So I'm looking at what I see here as a nice. This brings me back to my hand watering days, man. When I got to use the milk crate method. Love doing that, where you like raise up your plants to the level of the tallest plant in your tent. It works fantastic when you're doing a perpetual grow style. You can find them out back of your local Walmart.
Our buddy Matt Fratt says he keeps his moms
him
on them
Captain
too,
sent
so
you.
they totally work well.
That's fun. I've seen people make worm bins out of these. Can you do that? Or it has to be like an enclosed thing.
Out of what?
Out of what have I seen people make out of these? The milk crates. I guess just like
Oh, you could totally, if you wanted to, you could put like cardboard around it and stack them, and then so you could separate the layers. I mean, I wouldn't advocate for going out and making it out of that because you'd have to rectify the holes fucking everywhere.
Are you an expert at making things out of cardboard, Rev?
You know it, dude.
Would you
should
like
have
to
seen
tell
my
us about
first
it?
house before they broke it down. Yeah, I'm still suing the city. Okay, it's a public park.
Can we can we real quick just tell that story? I mean, just like for 30 seconds.
yeah, of course.
So I think Rev could tell it better than anybody. So go ahead, Rev.
Which story?
The
You gotta
free
remind me,
lunch,
sorry.
the lady
Oh,
at the
Jesus
park.
Christ. Yeah. So my beautiful partner, Megan, she plays tennis, right? And I was sitting there watching her play tennis, and this guy walked up to me, and he was being real friendly, going, hey, man, if you'd like to come over here, you can come join us. Oh, this is really fucking weird and everything. Well, they were doing lunch programs for the homeless in the park. So he was doing the public homeless reach he thought me and my dog were just creepily watching this chick play tennis. So he came up to offer me a free lunch for all the fellow I forget what they call them around here.
Homeless shelters?
No, there's a name. The unhoused individuals.
Ah,
Unhoused individuals. They
in the
try and say.
in the politically correct
Oh my
correct
God, fuck
California.
No, okay. I got
California
another. It gets
DC.
worse, right? Because my shop is on the same street as one of the largest homeless shelters in my county, and there'll be times where they'll come up talking. Like I'll be outside and they're smoking or something. They'll come up and be like, "Man, last night was rough in there, huh?" And I'll be like, "What the fuck? I work here. This is my shop, man. I'm sorry. Like I don't." And they're like, "Hey, man, any luck?" Like I guess. But it is very funny. I get mistaken quite often.
California problems, my friend.
Yeah, one of many.
Well, back to the fucking garden raid here.
Yeah, the successful.
What do we
garden.
see? What's going? This is all right. I want to just real quick. This is a plant that looks a couple days older to me, maybe like 34 days old. I'm just gonna guess. This is much older. This is a nice looking one.
Look at
That's
that
about the
boa.
fucking
Holy
harvester.
fuck.
No, not quite, Johnny. I'd say like this is your like
This is middle row. So it's the,
55,
Oh, the one right in the front?
56
All right.
day old auto right here. This is like post stretch. It's in like the third week of bud set, and it's looking really nice. I mean,
56, huh?
I would guess maybe 60 tops, but like
I
in a 3 gallon container, he's seeing a little bit of that like early senescence, I would guess. I'm just guessing this based on the buds and because the plants behind him we haven't shown yet, like this one, I would guess
Yeah.
is more towards your like 84 days.
Yeah.
Nice and ripe, ready to get the fuck out.
yeah, my time frame's always a little off because I grow such narrow fuckers that like they go 100 days constantly, and it drives
Dude,
me.
I just have to chime in real quick. I'm sorry. David, I've never seen you before, bud. Fast buds are not the best genetics. They are far from it, man.
I don't know if that dude knows
Far
where the
from it,
fuck he
dude.
is.
Like, you
Mad
work
thing.
for them. Fast buds are taking over. Prepare yourself, dude. Who
That's
are
because
you, man?
they give people free seeds and tell them to grow them.
Them to, yeah,
dude. Fast
Any-
duds, as
I-
we call them around
I got.
here.
I have.
Thank
I'm
you.
not- I'm gonna.
Thank you,
I'm gonna.
Judas.
I'm gonna mute.
Johnny's got nothing nice
Johnny's
to say.
Johnny's been we've been working with a therapist.
He's just gonna
Right.
yell. He's gonna yell at the camera. How do I solo you real quick, Johnny? Here. There we go. Do it again. Do it again. This is what we have to say about that. Yeah.
All right. Yep.
I love it.
All right. That's too much. He likes
Get
this
him
too
out of
much.
here.
Stop
Get
it.
like
him
that.
out of here. How do I stop this?
No, now it's hell for him.
Stop it! Stop it!
I said something along the lines of and throwing him in the fucking toilet.
Yeah, Brack remembers.
Yeah.
I know how to germinate fast
Yeah.
bud seeds.
Man,
I posted a video
listen.
a while back on how to do that.
We could give you a literal list of autoflower breeders who are far better than fast duds. Okay, don't fall for the marketing gimmicks. They are a white label seed company. They just contract breed and nothing else. They have really nice strain descriptions and nice pictures sometimes, but like more
don't know
often
what
than
you're
not,
gonna
man,
get.
I see
No, they got
stunted
a-
plants and fucking
They,
mids.
they got a
Yeah,
couple of good
ER.
ones, but that's about it. A couple of good ones, by luck.
It
you know,
is
every dog has
wild.
its day.
Yeah, right.
Throw enough
What do
shit
they
against
say?
the wall, something will stick.
Even
I'm
a-
still looking for mine though. One of these days.
even a broken clock
Is right
twice a
Right,
day.
twice
or
a day.
even a
Blind chicken gets a little corn once in a while.
broken squirrel sees its shadow twice a day or something. I forget what the.
That's
So
the total
anyway,
Pennsylvania thing.
back to the fucking raid. We are in your house, looking at your garden, man. By the way, love your Grow Me board of fucking stickers. I need to send you one of mine. Just got them made.
I don't even got one.
I was gonna say,
Well,
wait a minute.
by
Wait
the
a
way,
minute.
just
Not that I
got 'em
would.
made.
Not that I deserve to be in front of the line. I'm not saying that. I'm not.
I
that
have a
vain.
very limited quantity, but please,
Yeah.
by all means, if you're a Grow Me sticker collector, an aficionado, as it were, of Grow Me stickers,
fan.
like
Can't we
I
just
am.
be a fan? What if I'm just a fan?
no.
Can I have autographs?
you at least need to be connoisseur level.
Fuck.
Okay. But they are
What does Johnny
nice,
have
man.
to do
They're
to get
like
me a
a
sticker?
hologram captain.
Oh,
Those are
fancy.
dope.
Oh, fancy, huh?
I've been lacing the town with them where I live. They're
And the
know?
town where I live.
in the town where G3 lives and
There
every
you
town
go.
in between. But yeah, if you find one in the wild, you win a prize. Always. So again, this is what I whoa. This is what I would
We
say
can't close out the.
I would
Look
expect
at that beauty.
to see. Yeah, what a beautiful plant. Beautiful purple buds.
Yeah.
Nice.
He has a
dense,
system
easy
and he
trim
has
job.
it down, and I love
Really
it.
to a science.
Lovely fade, by the way. This is what I would want to see at like 84 days. You know, like when I am ready to chop it. Most auto flowers that are not like mostly narrow leaf are going to be done and looking
for
like
sure.
this within that time frame. But well done, my friend. Like that's a
He's a
fucking
master.
beautiful plant.
Yeah, it looks great. Nice and chunky.
Oh man,
Love the fade too.
that's purple, but I
Also,
want
if you
Purple.
see any of his posts on Instagram, he's always curated it to like the best '90s soundtrack. So it like cycles between like he'll have like Talking Heads, Bush, all these like different Sublime. He's very well
a
done.
man of culture. I see.
A man of '90s culture, the
You
pinnacle
can't
of
you
humanity.
can't mention Bush and say a man of culture.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna shit on the dude.
Yeah, we
We're
lost
trying to
the Bush in
celebrate.
the
At
80s,
least 16
okay?
Stone was a good album. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll give Gavin shitbag that, but the rest of it was trash after that.
There's no sex in your violence, dude.
Dude, glycerine, come on.
Ah, come
That
on! I
is-
can't.
that
If
is
I hear that
very
song
nice.
one more time, I'll put a bullet in my
You're
head.
showing
Oh,
your
I
age.
They used
love
they used
Play
to
it.
fucking play that
Fucking
song
play it.
all the fucking time, dude. The same 4 chords over and over
yeah.
again.
I know. It's literally
It
the
just drives
1
me
5
insane
6
because,
4
yeah.
progression too. It's like
It-
every song ever.
I
Look,
thought it was
Captain was right.
lovely.
That album was good. It was a good album, and I liked it when it came out. But no, that was it. Anyway,
What, I just
No,
wanted
Did
to.
we get to marry Gwen Stefani like shortly after that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a while
When she
there,
was-
right?
when she
Now
was,
she's
like,
married to that like
peak, too.
country dude though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Johnny's favorite.
For a little.
Who? Garth Brooks?
I don't know.
forgot
I just
Brooks.
assumed of everybody
Blake
here that
Shelton?
you would have known.
Blake
Ooh.
Shilden. Blake Shilden.
Ooh.
Don't you know because you're super into JT? I just assumed.
That I would know country music because of
I
Justin
did-
Timberlake?
No, terrible music. But
Oh,
you think
terrible
terrible
music as a
Oh.
genre. Oh, I
We
got it.
need the cymbal and hi hat.
I know, right? All right, guys,
love
back
Johnny
to,
too much.
to the Mittens Garden.
grow.
What can you tell me about this plant? What are you observing here?
I believe it's a cannabis plant. I'm just gonna go out. Just gonna go out on a limb.
I told you we were going to ruin
Roger
the
that.
That was too
Affirmative.
Am I right? Do I get a
No,
prize?
I don't think so.
I would put a wager.
Jury's
on it.
out. He's not
So what I'm
Trevor
noticing
asking.
is the top cola specifically kind of got wider as it densened up. Normally you get kind of a pyramid
Yeah, that
shape
has,
to
like,
your
block
fucking cola. Instead, this one
structure.
kind of went blocky. Exactly. That's what I'll. As long as we're
Do you
noticing.
know what? Do you know what this is? Because I know he just finished up not too long ago an all Alabrije wave.
Oh, maybe this is the purple
So it might be.
Pentarania.
Yeah, I know that he was growing. I think he put down 4 in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh man, look at that.
Yeah,
That's
he has
definitely
Probably what
a-
this
talent,
is,
man.
man.
That's
what-
definitely
that's-
a narrow leafer.
possible.
The flower structure on that screams fucking.
Did you see? Do you remember G3?
That looks like the one G3 grew. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Holy shit, man. I mean, really, really well done, Corgi. I mean, you know what you're
Yeah, he
doing
really-
with these
Corgi-
autos, man. You really do.
You called him his
Corgi
dog's
Daddy.
breed.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what he-
Corgi Daddy.
That's what his
Good job.
IG
Good
screen
job.
name
We,
is,
Corgi.
Corgi and the Mitten, right?
Good
We're
job.
gonna go ahead
Pitbull.
and-
Growing the Mitten. I'm sorry. I just associate him with the sticker I have of him, which is his dog. It's a Corgi.
Jester.
It is.
I will
got
say
it
though,
right here.
just-
Jester.
Just to make sure that this episode is a success, YAG will be claiming growing the mitten. That's YAG's
Oh,
garden too.
all
now.
right. That's your dude. Fuck.
He's
Well,
coming
go
to
listen
his
to our.
garden.
Go
I
listen
mean, look
to
at
our
the size
little
of his ego. Look at his sticker compared to everyone else's goddamn sticker.
That's because
That's funny, dude.
Hashtag how can I make my tent less reflective?
Exactly.
no, dude. I have one of his stickers. I love
Yeah,
it, and
you're
it's
sacrificing some PPFD by
dude.
putting up that
I'm
grow
all
me
for
wall.
it because I'd
I got
rather
mine
look
on
at
my fridge.
yeah, see, you're a genius. And then I forget who it is in our community, but their wife turned them on to making them into stickers, or not stickers, but magnets, putting them onto like magnet shit and tape it, cutting them out. That's a genius idea to do with all the
Yeah.
stickers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
All
not
right,
fucking
coming
handy enough to
next,
do any of that shit.
Captain Magnets. Put them on your fridge.
There you go.
Throw them on your car.
They feel like they're watching you wherever you go. That's the thing with these. They're just like the eyes are just,
Judging you.
yeah,
Dude, you know what? For a
silently
couple extra
looking.
$100, we probably could make them watch you.
I know. Just sticker mule. What can you do for me? What kind
It's
of
only
algorithm
for-
you got?
That's who I
Yeah,
use.
it's-
I
All right,
use sticker
let's get
mules
rid
when
of
I
this
did mine
screen.
too. That's funny.
Yeah, if anybody ever needs stickers made, there is no other company. You can get them cheaper other places, but Sticker Mule stickers will never fade, ever.
Quality is nice.
And they
That's
just
what I
they
got
just
mine.
stand there. They're unreal.
Dude, I love Sticker App. I've used it every time for my stickers, and mine are indestructible.
I think
Yeah,
you two
I've
should
never-
fight to the death.
I've never heard of them, but as long as they're using good quality
Yep.
vinyl, then I'm sure they're good stickers.
They are. They're
Hell yeah.
awesome. So
There
many
was-
choices too.
I saw one online the other day that I was looking into, and it turned out they were local to me, but I forgot the name. So let's pretend I said nothing.
All right.
Right.
That's the best
will.
words of
We
wisdom I've
will.
never
You
heard.
know what? We're just gonna pretend you said nothing for the last
Balls.
hour and a half.
Please do.
I think
That's why I
everyone
always
would
say.
be better off in general.
That's pretty average.
Who
I
invited
think we-
these YAG-offs on this fucking show?
That would be
No,
me.
we
Yeah.
encourage all you guys out there. Listen, go listen to the Your Average Grow podcast. You can find it anywhere you found our podcast. It's our brother podcast, sister podcast. If you kind of like our style, you'll probably
Incest,
like
baby.
their
That's all
style.
that matters.
What else was I gonna say? Fuck, I, don't know,
I
you
often
guys just-
have that.
Fuck
What
these
can
guys.
we? What do you guys have? What do you
We're-
guys to
yeah.
plug? Can you know, any last words for the audience? Is kind of.
I just want to thank you for having us on, man.
it was fun.
It was. Hopefully, we didn't embarrass ourselves too much.
No, man.
Oh,
You
it
guys
went
are
too
great.
fast.
Hopefully, I want to say that the YAG curse gets broken. The last person who had us on their podcast stopped producing them. So, please don't quit.
Oh, I wanted to mention
Oh,
the episode you did
Jeffa,
with Mitten.
Jeffa.
Just go listen
Yes.
to that.
Yeah,
Go listen
yeah.
to that one. Check him out. But yeah,
He's a dear friend of ours. We're gonna have him back on too, and I'm sure he's a
Hell
nice
yeah.
dude.
He's super talented.
well.
Oh yeah!
guys,
Shout out to everyone that watched. Thank you again to anyone and everyone that puts up with our bullshit.
Amen to that.
Yeah,
Guys,
we love our
if
crew in the
you
chat.
are a member of the Your Average Grow Discord and you're not in ours for whatever fucking reason, like come on
go
over.
over.
You're welcomed. If you're a friend of theirs, you're a friend of ours. Tell them. Well, don't tell them Johnny or the Rev sent you. Just come in on a blank slate.
Yeah, you'll come in with less hate if you just come in without knowing him.
No, mention you heard of us. You heard it here. Johnny and the Rev sent you, and yeah,
Tell
we'll
'em
welcome you right in.
Three simple
And-
things. Don't be a dick. Mind your own business. And go with Frog.
There you go.
Amen to that, man. Amen to that. And I think we can all agree, though, that the most important thing you can all do for yourselves is not to get caught.
Amen.
All right? All right. Well, until next week, over and out.
Don't get caught.
Thank you. It doesn't feel right unless you say it.
I
the
was
right
going
way,
to say,
you know what I
normally
mean?
everybody
I was
else says it too, but
know.
fuck it. I'll just.
I
Don't
just
get
liked
caught.
hearing it in person, man. Even though I watch
Green
all
apple.
the time.
Wait, green apple Skittles.
Fuck that lime shit.